Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, madam, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, ma'am. This is Mukul Pandey from Arcaj University, Jamshedpur.
Good morning, Pallavi ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sanjay sir. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. You are on mute.
Yes, you can hear me now.
Yes, sir, you are audible. Good morning and welcome to our online FDP program. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning to all. We are about to begin.
Sir, good morning, sir. Professor Piyush Swami, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you. और मिश्रा जी ठीक हैं आप?
जी जी
Sir,
आशीर्वाद है सर.
you are requested to kindly increase the volume, Swami sir. You are not audible,
Okay.
sir. Please.
All right. Well, that's all. I mean, I increased the volume on my computer. Is that what you
Sir,
want?
still you are not audible, sir.
How do I do? What do I do?
No. From my side, it's okay. I think Brigadier Sanjay Agrawal, sir, can you hear properly?
Yes.
Yes.
I can hear him very properly.
Yes.
Audible.
Achal, please check it at your end. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, it's all the way at the top of my computer. So I don't know anything else I can do.
Right, sir. Thank you, sir. And we all are very happy that at night, 12:30, you are connecting with us from United States. Yes.
Mishra ji, you order me and I follow.
No, sir.
It will be very nice to see everybody's face because I only hear the names so far. I've not met any of you except Mishraji from SRM, so it'll be nice to see you all.
So we have the participants, AICT participants from all the different business school and higher education institutions of India and abroad. We have total 200 participants today, sir. And today's our resource person who will deliver the talk, who is the advisor of National Highway Authority of India and the former Security Advisor of the Government of India, Ministry of Home, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal is also there with us.
I
Sir.
see. I see.
And
Yes, thank you.
I think soon Professor Bhagwati Prakash Sarma ji, who is the Vice Chancellor and eminent person who always used to negotiate in the WTO for India, and
see.
Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University is also going to join now, sir. All right, sir.
Wonderful. Very good. Very good. So I looked at the program that you sent to me. So we are probably going to start in about half an hour or right about now. It's 10 o'clock.
Right about now, sir. We are going to start now, sir, at
Okay.
10 o'clock. Right, sir.
Okay. Okay. So we're going to follow this sequence of things
Yes,
on the program. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay.
Good morning once again to everyone.
Good morning.
Dear Dr. Misra, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Actually, the meeting is full of capacity. This is Rajiv Dwivedi.
Right. Okay.
So just make sure that people can log in and can get into the Zoom meeting, because I can see that it is reaching on capacity.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Swami sir, namaskar.
Hello, Rajiv. क्या हाल है?
मैं ठीक हूँ sir. Pranam.
Are you here or in India?
Sir, I am in Washington. Still here.
Okay. So it's only about 9:30 for you.
Professor Achal, you start
Yes.
now.
That's correct, sir. It's 9:34.
Yeah.
So, good morning, a very warm good morning to everyone. Great things happen when there is a gathering of great minds. On behalf of SRM IST Delhi NCR campus, I, Professor Atal Mishra, feels elated in welcoming our guest of honor, our chief guest, distinguished invitees, dignitaries, and faculty members. We are grateful to Honorable Guest of Honor and Chief Guest for accepting the invitation and sparing their valuable time to grace the inaugural ceremony of AICTE Atal-sponsored 5 days faculty development program on lean thinking for sustainable business practices from August 16 to 20, 2021. A warm welcome is incomplete without warm words. It is with great pleasure that we welcome Honorable Guest of Honor, Dr. Piyush Swami, Honorable Guest of Chief Guest, Dr. Bhagwati Prakash Sharma, Respected Dean, Dr. D.K. Sharma, Respected Dean Management, Dr. N.M. Mishra, Respected Dean Admissions, Dr. R.P. Mahapatra, Respected Dean Campus Life, Dr. Naveen Ehlawat, Resource Persons, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal, Sena Medal, Security Advisor at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, Advisor, National Highway Authority of India, NHAI. And sir, you are requested to kindly mute yourself, Mishra sir. Yes, sir. And eminent resource persons from industry and academia across the globe. Professor Ravindra Kumar, S.K. Swami sir, Dr. Rajiv Dwivedi sir. So we would like to welcome each and everyone present here today for this 5 days FDP. A huge round of applause, virtual applause for all our dignitaries and guest of honor and chief guest. SRMIST Delhi NCR campus was founded in the year 1997 by Honorable Chancellor Dr. T.R. Parivender, MP Lok Sabha, to impart value-based education in a thought-provoking and novel milieu, favorable for the overall development of its students. It has a glorious history of 24 years, having more than 5,000 students. I'll request all the participants to
मैडम
kindly
ये तो
mute
100 का
themselves.
कैपेसिटी है, हमारे पास 200 रजिस्ट्रेशन है और जो कुछ लोग और जुड़ रहे हैं, मैं बढ़ा देना होगा ना मैम, थोड़ा बढ़वा दीजिए।
Sir, I would like to request N.M. Mishra sir to kindly mute. Thank you so much, sir. Well, SRMIST has a glorious history of 24 years, having more than 5,000 students pursuing their career in various programs. Campus offering a wide range of undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral programs in different faculties, engineering and technology, management, medicine and health sciences, science and humanities, law and agricultural sciences. The campus excels at providing the ambience and serenity to allow a focused approach towards lean, leap, and lead. The world-class infrastructure provides an excellent blend of relevance and rigor to teaching with robust industry interaction and research aimed at solving real-life problems where bright minds meet. The students are empowered with knowledge and professional skills while upholding the values of integrity, tolerance, and mutual respect under the guidance of intellectual and aspiring faculty members. The campus has been known for its education, excellence, and pool of intellects. We feel elated to share that SRMIST Delhi NCR campus has been ranked Best Engineering College in the year 2021 by Careers 360 Engineering Ranking 2021, 4-star Diamond Rating awarded by QS iGOG UK, Category A University by MHRD UGC, highest A++ grading as per NAC, 35th ranked by NIRF. If your actions inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Leaders don't force people to follow. They invite them on a journey. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Pankaj sir, you are requested to kindly mute yourself. Mr. Pankaj Chippa, please sir. Thank you. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. Integrity, insight, and inclusiveness are the three essential qualities of leadership. We have such a visionary leader and a personality with us. Honorable Dr. R.P. Mahapatra, Dean Admissions and HOD Computer Science and Engineering, SRM IST Delhi NCR campus, who has always inspired us and shows the right path to get success. The single best way to impact an organization is to focus on leadership development. There is almost no limit to the potential of an organization that recruits a good people, raises them as a leader, and continually develops them. With these words, I would like to invite a visionary leader, Honorable Dr. R.P. Mahapatra, Dean Admissions and HOD Computer Science and Engineering, to kindly welcome the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Good morning to all of you, and warm welcome to the inaugural ceremony of 5-day faculty induction program on lean thinking for sustainable business practice. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the FDP on lean thinking for sustainable business practice, organized by Department of the Management Studies and sponsored by AICT. On behalf of the SRM family and myself, I'm privileged to welcome the guest of honor, Dr. Piyush Swami, Professor Emeritus, University of Cincinnati, USA, an eminent educationist in the area of multicultural education. Sir, your words of wisdom shall enrich us and all the participants, resource person, and all the attendees. I'm elated to welcome our chief guest, Dr. Bhagwati Prakash, Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University. Dr. Prakash is an expert on global trade issue, an international visionary, and an accomplished leader. I congratulate our Dean FMS for organizing this FDP on one of the transformational framework, lean thinking, and its application has been a proven technique that provides basic insight of lean thinking to train every person to identify wasted time and effort in their own job and to better work together to improve process. I also extend a warm welcome to Dr. D.K. Sharma, Dean SRM IST, whose guidance and expertise steers this campus and efforts. Further, I welcome our Dean Campus Life, Dr. Naveen Alawat, to this inaugural session. This FDP, the main objective of Atal FDP, the FDP intends to provide financial assistance to facilitate upgradation of knowledge, skill, and intends to provide opportunities for induction training to teachers employed in discipline, engineering, technology, pharmacy, management, hotel management, architecture, town planning, and applied arts and crafts. A award faculty development program to cover areas such as technical education policy, new concept, methods and techniques, theory and skills development, and upgradation of pedagogy, educational technology, motivation, communication skill, management, and other relevant issues to keep pace with the changing scenario in technical education. The scheme is designed to enhance the teaching and other skills of the faculty and to make them aware about modern teaching tools and methodologies. It provides an opportunity to acquire knowledge about current technological developments in relevant fields. It will not only promote the professional practice relevant to technical education, but also motivates the faculty to achieve competitive teaching and learning environment, thus channelizing development with respect to academic qualification and personal matters. Well, sustainable business practice has come up in a big way in the past 2 decades, catering multidisciplinary fields emerging as a result of this. And it's not hard to see why versatile business practice has been growing so exponentially over recent years. There has been a steadily increasing demand for innovative ideas. We are inventing our future through strategy, innovation, and leadership. At the dawn of the 21st century, sustainable business practice is coming of age. Leading global corporations are embracing such practice as a strategic framework for integrating their business enterprises, creating innovative solutions to the complex needs and requirements of the business environment, and thinking strategically about leading change. This may be perceived as a subset of the broader concepts of sustainability and sustainable development as defined by the international community of nations and United Nations. Sustainable development and related practices involving articulating, integrating, and achieving social, economic, and environmental objectives and initiatives to protect humankind and the natural world. I believe that this Atal FDP on lean thinking for sustainable business practice is a perfect platform to explore and listen to experts in details on reducing energy costs, improving brand image and customer preference among specific buyers, generate positive media coverage for the company, and help attract workers who want to work for business that practice CSR. Once again, I welcome you all on behalf of entire fraternity of SRM IST Delhi NCR campus and wish you fruitful experience of learning and discussions. My best wishes. Thank you. Over to Professor Anchal Madam.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Your kind words and your welcoming address, indeed, this will definitely improve and this will definitely help us. Thank you so much for your blessings and welcoming our gathering. Thank you so much. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in them. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. Dr. N.M. Mishra is PhD, MBA, PGD CSA, BHU, MSc, Diploma in Journalism, and FDPM from IIMS Ahmedabad. Is heading as a professor and dean management at SRM IST, and alumnus of IIMS Ahmedabad and BHU Varanasi. Sir is associated with several institutions and universities for research and training. Sir has more than 24 years of rich experience in academics. Sir is a versatile teacher having multidimensional pedagogy. He has been involved in several training and research programs carried out by different organizations. He has published several research and working papers in leading national and international journals. Professor Mishra is a professional member of various national and international organizations. Currently, he is extensively engaged in research for SCM model and ERP model. Dr. Mishra published patents in the area of data science granted by IP Australia. Dr. Mishra is the advisor to the Harvard Business Review author. He is in the editorial board member of Science Group Publications USA. Sir has been associated with the corporate training in India with companies like NTPC, Hindalco, HCL, New Holland, Infosys, and the list is endless in the areas of OM and data science. Now, may I request respected Dean Management, Dr. N.M. Mishra, to kindly present the theme of the AICT Atal-sponsored 5 days FTP on lean thinking for sustainable business practices. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Achal, please give me the permission to share the screen. And in between, I am welcoming our Honorable Professor Bhagwati Prakash Sharma ji, the Vice Chancellor of Gautam Buddha University. Sir, pranam, sir.
Dhanyawad.
Ji, sir. Host, please allow me to share the screen. Please allow me to share the screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, you are requested to kindly share. Rights I've given to you, sir. Mishra, sir.
So nice.
And I'll request all the participants to kindly mute themselves. If they have any query, they can put this in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Honorable Chief Guest, sir, and the guest of honor, Professor Swami, sir, SRM IST NCR campus, is one of the best institution of the country, NAC A++ awarded by the government of India. And he, with the sponsorship of All India Council of Technical Education and with the 200 participants, we are going to start an FDP from today, 16th, and it will continue till 28th of August. This is in the area of operations management, and a broad topic have been taken, lean thinking for sustainable business practice. Sir, the objective of this particular FDP is to focus on of the online FDP in operation management is to upgrade the teaching and research skill of the management teacher. Sir, with the support of AICT and SRM, we developed the curriculum, carefully blending the different sessions that cover a range of topics, including lean thinking in the management education, lean practices, teaching, learning in the lean, applying the lean thinking in the higher education, and the most relevant and pertinent lean industry 4.0. And today we are suffering from COVID-19, world is suffering from the ups and downs. So therefore, how the lean thinking can help to recover from economic recovery from the COVID-19 world, that also we have incorporated. And the most interesting of all is we also included the lean philosophy of ancient India, which our management teacher will understand what are the different philosophy was there and which is coming through that. We also incorporated in our curriculum, sir, the Vedanta and the lean thinking. And we got a very, we will learn the Vedanta and lean thinking with the help of Sringeri Mutt. And at the end of this, we will learn a test will be conducted for the participant, and the certification will be given by the All India Council of Technical Education, sir. The online FDP is going to be delivered from today through D2D mode, device to device mode. We will use the Zoom platform, and we have already shared the profile and portfolio of the different management teachers. Around 50%, more than 70% professors who are participating today are mostly teaching in the different good business school of India and abroad. We have also created, sir, the WhatsApp group separate WhatsApp group for the resource person, WhatsApp group for all the participants. We are also interacting with them through email, and we are also going to use an innovative platform, Padlet, for the group discussion and other things. Sir, AICT have already provided a platform through which the participants have registered directly on the AICT platform. They registered, their attendance will be marked by the AICT, and the test will be conducted by the AICT, and on this basis of their performance during this FDP, the AICT will award the certificate to them. The recording of all the sessions, including the inaugural session, will be uploaded on the AICT portal for the future reference, sir. Honorable sir, our chief guest and guest of honor, sir, the days and timeline is very important. As a coordinator of this program, I would like to share you what are the different components we have incorporated in the different dates. On the 16th today, we are on the inaugural mode where all our participants will get blessings from the guest of honor, eminent Professor Piyush Swami, who himself is a great academician, who is the chairman of the World Curriculum Development Committee, and who is the Professor Emeritus, and he has seen the journey at the Public University of University of Cincinnati from dean to rector level, and then he will give us the blessings. And finally, a great economist, great country leader, and great educationist, Dr. Bhagwati Prakash Sharma ji, who is our chief guest. He will also give the blessings in this inaugural session. Sir, today itself, 3 sessions will be conducted, in which introduction of lean thinking, role of lean thinking in the management education, understanding the lean philosophy. 3 sessions of 90 minutes each will be delivered and taught by Professor Sanjay, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal, who is the advisor to National Highway Authorities, and he is an eminent professor of management. I am requesting the participant please mute, so that on 17 in the curriculum, 3 sessions again as per the guidelines of AICT, where our participant will explore and learn pillars and principles of lean thinking practices, and role of lean thinking in sustainable business practices that they will learn. And the eminent operations professor is there from Pune University, Dr. Joshi, who will deliver it. On August 18, I request my participant, please mute your mic time and again. Right. So on August 18, we have again 3 sessions on and as per the curriculum, wherein we will try to give the impart the training how we can teach, how we can teach using lean thinking, apply the lean, and the topic is teaching learning process by applying lean thinking, which I will deliver, and subsequently doing more with less, going lean in education, applying lean thinking in higher education strategy will be delivered by 2 eminent faculty who have done a lot of research in the area of operations and lean. On August 19, we have a international faculty from Eastern Washington University, Dr. Rajiv, who will deliver, and who will give a insight to all our academicians of India and abroad. What is lean industry 4.0 practices, lean thinking in the COVID-19 world, and just-in-time practices. Finally, on August 20, sir, the lean philosophy of ancient India will be delivered by one of the great Indologists of the country, Professor Ravinder Kumar, who is the former Vice Chancellor also. And Vedanta and lean thinking will be blessed by Swami Dr. Chaitanyanand Saraswati of Sringeri Math. And the session will conclude with a valedictory session, the blessings from the same Swamiji of Sringeri Math, an online test. Sir, without taking too much time, because all of us are waiting for the blessings from our guest of honor and chief guest, our learning outcome, which we are expecting from all our participants, is very important. As a coordinator, my duty is to say about the learning outcome, what we are expecting, the country is expecting from you. Gaining a more complete understanding of the objective, make decision about what is worth teaching in the classroom, make better decision about how to teach and assess the terms in terms of the objectives, and enrich in learning, teaching, and assessment and competencies. Make working environment and life easier. Lean thinking philosophy, as a teacher today we are living in the stress, so this particular FDP will give you an opportunity to make working environment wherever we are working, make environment and life more easier and easier. We are expecting this outcome from your side. And finally, sir, certification. Our all participants, sir, will be awarded with a certificate of participating, meeting the necessary requirement and satisfactory performance in the coursework by the AICTE, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. I am trying to encapsulate the theme. We all, sir, after completing this FDP, we will focus on creating the value for customers by removing product related perceptions, and ideas from the organization. Here, maybe education service product or services, both we can see through constant marketing test and customer insight. Whatever we have to design the course and curriculum based on the market test and customer insight. We create the most customer-centric business model, services or product to achieve the maximum efficiency. With this encapsulation, I am welcoming you, all the participants who is going to participate in this 4 days FDP. And I'm also welcoming, we are waiting the blessings of guest of honor, Professor Swami, Professor Piyush Swami sir, and Professor Bhagwati Prakash sir. Over to Dr. Achal. Thank you, Asha.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for giving a glimpse of SRMIST and today's FDP. Thank you so much, sir. Leadership is not position or a title. It is an action and example. We have such a great personality with us who always left his remarkable impression on everyone. Dr. Piyush Swami, Professor Emeritus, University of Cincinnati, USA. Dr. Swami is a professor of science education in the curriculum and instruction program. His areas of main interest are in the field of science teacher preparation, multicultural education, and international education. Sir teaches graduate level courses for both general and specific science methods and
Sir,
advise postgraduate and doctoral candidates in the respective fields. Sir is currently the President of World Council for Curriculum and Instruction. He has served at the senior head positions such as Dean, Director, Vice Chancellor, Rector of Vice Chancellor at University of USA and abroad. Sir has published numerous research papers in the international journals of repute, published book chapters, and has worked on various funded research projects. Professor Swami, an American citizenship philanthropist set up at CSR Venture in India East and West Institute, as he is an honorary chairman. Sir has been invited for presentations at Chicago, New Orleans, LA, Ohio, Portland, and the list is endless. Now, I would like to invite our honorable guest of honor, Dr. Piyush Swami, to kindly address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
I'm very pleased to be here. I think I have some slides that would be available, I think, for sharing. Is that possible right now before I start speaking?
Yes, sir. Just sharing in a moment.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's already allowed, sir.
All right. So can I see those? Let me start talking because when you are ready, just show those slides and I will tell you how to proceed with them. Okay, I see them. Let's not show it yet until I ask you. So could you take it off, but keep it ready on cue? Okay, all right. Well, thank you for your kind words. I am very, very grateful to SRM and Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Dr. Mishra. I'm looking forward to hearing from other chief guests who are here this morning. It is a little bit strange that it's about 1 a.m. for me in the United States while it is early morning for you. But I want to tell you, this is also one of those days where I'm very proud Indian in the United States. This is, as you know, for me, it's just turned from 15th of August to 16th. So August 15 is always a very important, significant day no matter where I live, because this is what I believe connects me to India at a much deeper level. So I want to congratulate all of you for this wonderful new year that you are beginning, both academically as well as in the political life of the country. What is strange is that even though we are so far apart from each other, we really are not very much apart. Of course, technology has bridged the gap that existed until just a few years ago when we lived in all different places. Within the last month, as you know, that there have been two attempts made for people to fly out of the Earth's atmosphere into space. And when they came, they said that the Earth just basically looked like a small planet hanging in the space. And you wonder why we have so many differences and so many things that separate us here from outside. It doesn't look like that there are any national boundaries, the geographical boundaries, or any other such thing. We are all one humankind. And as such, we need to not only work with each other, but work for each other. And I think that's with that frame of reference in my mind, I want to say some things that are a little bit more pertinent for the educators who are gathered here. You will hear from me. Actually, let me just tell you one other thing. I received my education, undergraduate education, in Modinagar. So I'm very familiar with the surroundings of the SRM Institute. And I have been traveling to India almost 2 or 3 times a year. So I have been keeping myself abreast of the things that have happened here. Of course, this past year is a unique year for all of us here and everywhere else in the world because of the clamping down of lockdowns, and our lives have completely changed as a result of that. I'm hoping that Indian universities and institutions will begin their academic term very soon, because we have learned some things from our past, and now hopefully we can incorporate some other ideas as we begin our new year. Now let me talk to the educators a little bit. I have looked at curriculum and instruction on a pretty much of an international level for many years. And one thing that I have learned is that as an educator, we always have to be at the top of our game. By that, what I mean is that we need to prove ourselves to our students almost on a daily basis that we know what we are talking about, that we have a perspective that is far bigger, broader than just a very narrow goal that sometimes the students have. Just give me a degree, or just get me through the exam, or just get me a job. As an educator, we have to look beyond that. We have to look at the wider perspective of why society spends such great amount of energy and resources and money and effort to educating the young generation. It is not because we need to have them a certificate in their hand, because you see, the certificate getting is important perhaps, but it is not the end in itself. What we need to do is we need to prepare students who are future citizens, future leaders, and they are the ones who will push the economy further, push the human life further, and make life better for everybody else. And so the the person of a teacher is an essential component of a developed society. India has claimed to be a leader in education for a very long period from the ancient times, and we were. But we also know that everything is not always great. And so this faculty development seminar program that we are starting today is really essential. May I share some slides now, please? The first slide, please. So why do we need the faculty development program? Because, see, the education focus and the context are changing rapidly. They're not stationary, they're not stagnant. The new needs, new ideas are constantly coming forward. So in order to keep abreast with that, the faculty has to remain competent for fulfilling the needs of the society. If the needs are changing, the faculty has to change also in their own expertise. We have to continually advance our knowledge and skill base, and this is very important, and also our instructional pedagogy. If we keep teaching the same way that we have been taught 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, chances are we are going to become very stale very soon because the change is fast. Second slide, please. The major changes that are coming, they are coming at a rapid rate. We are looking at changes in the curriculum and courses at each program, in each college, in each university. We are looking at the expectations of the society, and those are also changing. What used to be acceptable at one time is no longer acceptable or minimally acceptable as the time progresses further. We are also looking at changes in instructional pedagogy, the new teaching techniques. We have all just come through almost a year-long lockdown where online education became the only way we could communicate with students, whether it is in the school level or the college level. And this has been a golden time for international cooperation. I know in my university, we were offering courses that were being taken by students in India and China and Japan and Africa and all other places, because this gave an opportunity for educators to communicate with students throughout the world. These kinds of things need a different instructional pedagogy. Not only that, just within our own context, we cannot keep on teaching the same things from same notes every day, every year, and expect that the students are going to be just as excited as they were 10 years ago. So the new technology and new practices are evolving, and they have to be part of our repertoire as we work with the students. We need, obviously, a very close relationship with the practices that are needed and that are demanded by the business and industry. Now, I want to dwell briefly on the role of a faculty member in a professional college. Next slide, please. The role of a faculty that I see is that we need to develop professional skills with a focus on context and application. Theoretical knowledge may be good for some students. It is not going to serve the need of the society. We need more practical education, more practical applications. So we need to be figuring out in every one of our subjects that we are teaching, what is the context that this knowledge will be useful in, and focus on that and how it applies for the betterment of the economy and society. I think and this is really, and I'm going to dwell on this a little bit more in just a minute. I think the critical thinking and problem-solving skills are the basic foundation for a successful person in the future, whether it be a mechanic in an industry, or whether it be an accountant in a firm, or any management company or whatever job that they have. Gone are the days when it was okay to just follow the orders and keep going without any of your own thinking. Now the new problems are appearing every day, every hour practically in industry and business. And we need people who can look at them critically and examine how we can find a solution for them. This is not just knowledge that sometimes we focus on in our courses. We are looking at something else, how this knowledge can be used. How do we equip the students to go beyond just what is on paper and begin to apply in different situations? We are going to have to develop a much more client-centered approach in our education than the self-centered. Now, as I told you, I go to India about 3 times a year. And every time I go to various offices, banks and post office and business offices and so on. And everywhere it is so degrading to see that the person behind the desk is more interested in his or her own work, own interest, and almost pays no attention to the client who actually is the reason why they are employed in the first place. Somehow we have lost this. Somehow our education doesn't focus on that, or we have demeaned that approach. And what we have begun to see in very large numbers, especially in a country like India, where the attitude is everything goes, that we have lost focus on the clients. So let me talk a little bit about the state of our education in India as I know it. And my perspective is quite different than perhaps your academic pursuits have contributed to your education. So let me show you some things that might shock you from the students who are coming out of many of our colleges in India. So next slide, please. Next slide. Before I do that, let me also say that the quality of faculty is intertwined with the quality of student achievement. What I mean by that is, if we want to develop the students, then we have to develop the faculty. And I'm so glad that 200 plus of you are here attending this seminar, taking your own time and trying to improve your own educational repertoire. What faculty focuses on primarily is what their students would focus on in their own education. The impact of faculty cannot be downplayed. Students learn what we teach, and not what we teach through our words, but through our actions, through our attitudes, through our motivation, how we spend our time, how we try to improve ourselves or not. All of those things are learned by the student, whether that was our goal or not. So what we focus primarily on is what students learn eventually from us. It does not always have to be formal, sometimes informal education that we provide is just as important. And I think this really obligates us to introspect our own personal behavior. What we would like to see in our students is reflected by what we do ourselves. To assume that I am only hired, employed to teach students a certain course, a certain set of books or materials and so on, and not worry about what I do in my personal life or how I spend my personal time in the college or outside the college, it has nothing to do with the students, is short-sighted. Our personal behavior has far more impact on the students than anything that we will teach in a formal way. I think the professional ethics of the faculty would greatly influence the student work ethics. If we are not hard workers, if we try to cut corners every which way we can, or we do not fulfill our own obligations that the institution has placed upon us, then we are imparting a very poor work ethic for our students. And so this FDP, again, is a very important cog in trying to impress upon us, trying to improve ourselves. And the students see that we are constantly growing rather than being stagnant. Next slide, please. India, as you know, graduates millions of students, but very few are fit to hire. Next. Most large businesses have thousands of vacancies. I'm talking about the United States. I'm talking about India. Thousands of vacancies are there that are lying vacant because they cannot find qualified and skilled candidates. So on the one hand, we try to claim that we have graduated so many students in India. On the other hand, very few of them find jobs because they don't basically know what they should know. Next. Now, it is said that at least half of the jobs that our elementary school children today would fill in their lives have not yet been created. In other words, the evolution is happening so fast in the professional world, in the business world, in the industrial world, that what our elementary school children, when they become adults, what they will do, we don't even know those jobs yet. And I think all of us can attest to that, because what happened in 1990s in India changed everything after that as the IT industry became more developed in India. It changed the entire fabric of the economy of India. Those jobs were not created when I was a student in Modinagar. The computer had not even been invented yet. I remember the day when the Microsoft Windows were announced, and there were lines of people outside the office because they wanted to see what this thing is. People were afraid at one point about computers. And look what is happening now. We cannot do anything here or anywhere else without the help of computers. Those jobs created after 1990s. And I think the next evolution is also coming when the computer will become like a plowshare in a field. It will just become a very simple tool, but the things will build on it. And this is not the time to talk more about that, but I'm sure most of you are aware of the kinds of things that are happening in the world. Next. I just put this slide in. I saw somewhere this, if you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. In other words, faculty, if you expect a lot of things from faculty, you need to pay them accordingly. Next. In one state in India, there are more than 1,300 engineering colleges. I think you might know which state I'm talking about. Nearly half of them have been closed due to lack of students, faculty, and low prospects for their graduates to find suitable jobs. We went after numbers, quantity, and forgot the quality. And what happens? Ultimately, it's the quality that counts, not the numbers. We need to educate everybody, yes, but we don't need to educate everybody in the same thing, because then the standards go down fast. So while I'm very sympathetic that everybody should be educated, I am very, very sad to see that all students are not educated because they are in college. Next. Just about 13,000 rural schools in India. They did a survey of that and found in 5th grade, the students who are in the 5th grade could not read at the 2nd grade level. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that state of affairs in India. The education is, somebody say education is what used to be, and I think that is very true. I think the standards have gone by the wayside, and now the focus is on somehow get through the year, get through the exam, and get through, and then pray that somebody will get you a job. And yet not much focus on what they can do or what their output would be. Next. Let me show you some examples of graduates from business colleges. Now, this may shock you. These are students, I'm going to show you some work, who all have MBA or MCA degrees. And when they came for interview, they were asked a very simple question. Can you write down what BBA or BCA stand for? Let me show you what they said. This is during the interview. Go ahead, next. Next slide. Here is one student who said he was LLB. Look at what he said, what the spellings are, what he wrote. Bachelors. Next, I'll show you several examples of this. They have no idea, even their own degree, what that stands for. Next slide. Here is one. Again, ask, what does BBA stand for? There it is. This person, and I'm very shocked, actually, how poor the spellings are for Indian students. You drive down from Modinagar to Delhi and you see signs both sides of the road. You see behind the cars, everywhere else, big signboards full of spelling mistakes. I think people just think that they can make it up as they go. And if that's the standard, then somebody is going to stop them from moving forward. Go ahead, next, please. Here is again, same thing. Say, what does a BBA stand for? Bachelor of, couldn't write that. Business, I don't know what that was, application. They don't know what degree they got, let alone what they learned from it. Next. Bachelor of Commerce, okay. And then she writes Bachelor, again, makes up her own spellings. These are graduates of our universities who have a degree, master's degree in business or some other field. And this is what their standard is. Next. Here is another. MBA, look at what he says, Management of Business Administration. That's what this student thinks. Next. Here's a BCA student. Again, my purpose for showing this is, I think we need to focus on product, not necessarily on what process we are using, how many students we have. I think we need, as faculty, as individual faculty, I think we need to take pride in our own work. Next, please. So I am a role model for the students. And here are my questions. Can I really say that I take pride in my work? Pride. I am very proud of what I do. And why am I proud? Because I am a role model, because I do things that my profession says I should do, that I keep up with the education and the skills that I need to have. I would say, are you proud of what your students are capable of doing? It's a very important question. Can we really stand behind our students and what they know and do before they are turned into society and industry? Would you hire your own students for your personal company or business? Would you recommend them for somebody else to hire them? I think this is where I think rubber meets the road. If we are not proud of our work and our students, then I think we need to rethink very carefully of what it is that we are doing wrong and how we should carry out our work. With that, I think I want to congratulate you again for being here and spending 5 days trying to learn and hopefully improve your instructional pedagogy, because this is what the foundation for the future students will be. This is what the foundation of the next generation will be. Again, I thank the organizers of this program for inviting me to be with you. And I wish you very well, good luck and best wishes for a very meaningful, very productive week ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom and your rich experience. Indeed, we all are grateful and it is a pleasure. It is a matter of pleasure for all of us listening to you. Thank you so much once again to you, sir. Well, outstanding leaders go out of the way to boost the self-esteem of their personnel. If people believe in themselves, it's amazing what they can accomplish. It is our pleasure to have with us Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Bhagwati Prakash Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh. Professor Sharma is an expert on global trade scenario, the WTO, free trade agreements, economic globalization, patents, investment measures, business environment, social, cultural values and trends. Sir has been keen observer and a regular commentator on all the aforesaid issues. Ever since the launch of Uruguay round of the talks for the information of WTO, he has been participating and keenly studying the MTAs in the biannual ministerial conferences of WTO since 2003. Among the latest events, Sir has participated in the 10th biannual ministerial conference of WTO held at Nairobi, Kenya from December 15 to 18, 2015. Sir has spoken on variety of issues there, including automatic compulsory licensing, agricultural issues, intra-firm trade, special safeguard mechanism, and a series of other issues. Leadership of an international visionary, a visionary on management and globally renowned expert on global business and economics scenario, having an in-depth understanding of the dynamics of global trade policy, interpersonal effectiveness, work engagements, organizational culture, and transformational leadership. Sir enjoys a reputation of a nationally renowned consultant on intellectual property rights, industry clusters, zero-based budgeting, competition law, and free trade agreements. May I request Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Bhagwati Prakash Sharma, Vice Chancellor, Gautam Buddha University, Noida, Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, to kindly welcome the gathering with his inaugural remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mishra. You have very elaborately introduced me. That was not needed, but thanks for that. The Honorable Guest of Honor, Professor Piyush Swami, the Dean, Dr. D.K. Sharma Sahab, another Dean, FMS, Professor N.M. Mishra, and the Registrar, Dr. S. Vishwanathan, all the esteemed deans, directors, heads of the department, delegates, faculty members, and research scholars. Indeed, lean thinking has transformed the Toyota production system. But I do feel that it is not an exclusive philosophy. Even the basic concept of marketing also focuses on delivering value to the customer and integrating all production and manufacturing around that. So I think in the arena of management, we have been discussing the lean thinking philosophy or all the transformational package by different names. Even when I go to the Taylor's definition of scientific management is the way how to do anything in the best possible manner. And therefore, I would like to focus upon three things. One is, no doubt, lean thinking has transformed Toyota production line, and lean thinking since 90s has been finding a lot of, followers. Lean thinking basically focuses on optimizing the whole. That is how to optimize the whole to deliver the optimum value to the customer, and at the same time satisfying all kinds of human stakeholders. Here I would like to focus upon two things for holistic thinking. One is, how can we transform Indian business? That is number one. And how can we transform the Indian education system? So I would focus upon that. Now, just I'll be making a stray comment. That no doubt Toyota has been a bankrupt company in 1950s, and it has been turned around thereafter. But if we go through the overall business ecosystem in Japan, I'll just like to quote one fact, that in Japan, only 4% foreign cars are being purchased by the customers. The kind of economic patriotism that is displayed by every Japanese consumer is reflected into that. When President Trump won the election, even he has warned the Japanese planners that you should enhance or facilitate entry of foreign cars, including American cars. You have been selling more than 50% cars in the American market, but the whole of the rest of the world other than Japan is able to sell only 4% cars in Japan. Otherwise, all the cars being purchased are 96% cars are made by Japan. So this kind of patriotism has helped Japanese industry in rolling out made by Japan products, and just getting a basic demand markets also. So when we are analyzing the lean philosophy of business practices, we also should keep in mind the overall ecosystem that exists in Japan. It happens in every respect. Now, just to the contrary, when I quote Indian example, in India, 13% cars, that is of Tata and Mahindra, are made by India, and rest are assembled in India and are all foreign brands. So at the outset, I would like to mention I think when we have that, I think even in manufacturing practices also, when I think we should have an honest introspection. Today we have been assembling mobile phones, we have been assembling metro trains, we have been assembling refrigerators of Whirlpool or other companies, we have been assembling the passbook printers. So actually we don't see any downstream value addition in manufacture of original equipments. And therefore, in India and in Japan, we find just a distinction that in Japan, they have complete downstream value chain of manufacturing all their components and original equipments indigenously there. And therefore, the kind of practices that Japan is adopting, I think India has to adopt a different kind of practice, and at present, at least, we have to think of strategies where we can conceive the idea of launching ever newer products, launching made by India brands, and then only we can make. So just if we have a macroeconomic analysis, today, almost 60% of the manufacturing is confined into 4 countries. China has even outshined US. Today, China has the highest share in world manufacturing, that is 28.4%. US has also been pushed back US has only 17.5% contribution in world manufacturing. Japan is holding third position in spite of having only 1.6% of global population. Japan has 10% share in world manufacturing, and the fourth rank is of Germany. They have about 6 to 7%. So in all, out of a polity of 220 countries, only 4 countries are holding 60% share in world manufacturing, and India, which has 17.6% of the global population, in the form of assembly lines. And therefore, I think simply lean thinking would not help to transform the Indian corporates. So we have to think of, I'll be coming to a couple of strategies. How can we think launching and promoting made by India brands within the country and outside also, that can help to transform. So just to give a brief focus on education also, I see there are 4 kinds of lacunae in Indian education system. One is we are little bit farther with respect to quality and innovativeness. This innovativeness is reflected in the number of international patent applications being filed. And that is reflected in the overall economic prosperity of every country. For example, we have been applying, our research scholars have been applying for around 50 to 52,000 international patent applications per annum. China is applying, Chinese scholars are applying almost 1.5 million patents applications per annum. They have almost 43% share in the total international patent application filings. And therefore, China has a 28.4% contribution in world manufacturing, and India has only 3%. It is also not solely dependent upon the number of patent applications, but somewhere, if we have to transform the economy and if we have to transform our educational system, we have to be more and more innovative. That is number one. Another important, even when we see in industrial design registration applications, India has less than 1% share, while China has 23% share in industrial design registration applications. So somewhere, I think lean thinking can help in a case of an existing organization. But we have to create organizations, we have to launch made by India products, we have to launch made by India brands. So I think we have to focus more upon that. Another important thing which I do feel that what we need to do in the area of this, how to occupy a larger space in world manufacturing, because the faculty members of business have to inspire the students in the right direction. And therefore, now how made by India products can help. And just I'll be giving a different example than Toyota. In 1950s, Toyota was already existing in a bankrupt company. At that time, Mahindra was nowhere. The promoters of Mahindra and Mahindra were scrap dealers at the time of independence. And one of their partners was a Muslim, and he migrated to Pakistan, and therefore their business of scrap dealing was also affected. Coincidentally, during that time, Willys had to assemble its Jeep and deliver in the Indian markets. At that time, we were not having any indigenous Jeeps. They offered to the Willys that, all right, you bring completely knocked down kits of your Jeeps and we would assemble here. So you would save in transportation costs, as well as the assembly line cost would be much lower in India than as compared to UK, and the freight charges would also be lower. So that way, Mahindra people started assembling the Willys Jeep. Then they thought of launching their own product. So they brought Commander, and then they brought Scorpio, and then they acquired Sangyong in Korea, and they also introduced their cars, and they also introduced their trucks. And now it is a complete automobile company. In 2010, they thought to enter into aerospace manufacturing. So instead of developing their own design and instead of going for a greenfield project, they picked up Gippsland, Australia, a small agriculture purpose tiny aircraft manufacturing company, and they acquired that in Australia. And then they acquired 3 other small aerospace spare part manufacturing companies which were supplying to the Gippsland, Australia. And then in the Malur near Bangalore, they set up a plant to manufacture aircrafts. And today they are manufacturing 6 variants of aircrafts up to 22 seats. And their aircrafts are national carriers for many countries in their civilian transport. So what do I feel? That there can be lean thinking as one strategy that can help India. But since we have very few made by India products and brands, almost 80 to 90% brands are just being assembled here, whether these are the mobile phones or as even, for example, in case of metro trains also, whether it is Bombardier of Canada or Alstom or Thales. So only the rolling stock is being assembled. So I think beyond lean thinking, I would also like to an example of how a brand can help. And even here, I would be talking of a strategy of acquisition from abroad. And just people of my age must be remembering that in somewhere around 2000 or up to even 2005, Tatas were not able to sell their tea in the retail. Their brand equity was very poor. And in spite of heavy advertising. And during that time, Tatley, a tea company in UK, turned bankrupt. It was heavily indebted. And Tata's acquired that company. People were astonished that such a heavily indebted and bankrupt tea company had been acquired by Tata's. This brought down the share prices of Tata Tea also. But since Tatley was having 21% market share in the entire Europe and 17% market share in tea bags in US. Second largest tea company in the world. So, saying that how Mahindra people build their made by India product. And now here, I'm not able to restrain myself from giving the another example of Tata's. That is also a good example of acquisition abroad. Tata, when ABS Volvo, Volvo's Scania, they are the truck and bus manufacturers for the whole world. When Volvo introduced their trucks and buses of 400 horsepower, at that time, none of the Indian companies, whether it was Tata Motors or it was Leland, none was having any truck or bus model, domestic truck or bus model of above 200 horsepower. So Tata thought that if we will develop our own technology to compete with Volvo, it may take 2 to 3 years. The technology may be accepted or may be rejected. So instead, they just found that Daewoo Commercial Vehicles Limited has become bankrupt in Korea. And prior to bankruptcy, that company was having 25% market share in the high-end trucks of 400 horsepower in South Korea. I thought that it is having market-tested technology. So again, that was a bankrupt company. It was being auctioned by the lenders. They acquired it for 100 million pounds, 10 crore pound में 10 crore dollars में उन्होंने उसे खरीदा. And then it Tata Daewoo, and there they developed the world-class truck model Novus. They took almost 1 year in developing that model, 400 horsepower. Then they acquired Hispano in Spain. They had it before this acquisition of Daewoo. Tatas were selling almost 95% of their output within India. They were somewhere below the top companies. And now today, Tata Motors is manufacturing their Novas and other world-class trucks and buses in almost 40 countries. And Tata Motors is the fourth largest manufacturer and the largest truck manufacturer in the world. So I think of India, either we have to go for our own products. Now I'll give two more examples. The student Rahul Gupta, who passed out in 2011, and he was having many backs, so he was not eligible for campus placement. So he mobilized one more friend, and they started a small venture, because at that time solar was a sunrise sector in India. So they started a small firm, Raise Power Expert. You can see the success story of Raise Power Expert. In the very first year, उस समय 2012 में, the two friends wanted to apply for a tender. So they were not having 1,33,000 rupees. मेरे ख्याल में यहाँ जितने लोग हैं उनके सारे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, किसी से भी कहेंगे तो 1,33,000 की अर्नेस्ट मनी के साथ टेंडर भर सकते हैं. But at that time, the two young graduates were not having even 1,33,000 to be deposited as earnest money. And that's why they skipped the tender and they started doing petty jobs for various other companies which were getting various government tenders for solar lanterns or other things. Gradually, within a year, they could earn 4 to 5 lakhs of rupees. So then they started applying for tenders. Today, Raise Power Expert, which was started in 2012, is a 900 crore company, having a turnover of 900 crores. So I think we have to motivate our students to be employer for others, that is to be self-employed. Somewhere, I think if we can motivate our students to be self-employed, I presume that there must be many feminine members. So I would like to give a feminine example. You must have heard of Biocon. Biocon is the largest biopharmaceuticals company in country. It's among top 5 biopharmaceuticals companies in the world. And its promoter, Kiranji Majumdar Shah, is the richest lady of India. But when she started her venture, at the time she was having only 10,000 rupees in a one rented garage. So even bankers refused to give loan to her, that since you do not have anything else than these 10,000 rupees in a rented garage, so we can. She continued her research in biopharmaceuticals. And when she brought her public issue, it was oversubscribed 30 times. And today she is the richest lady in the country. But now I want to give generally the example of Kiranji due to different reasons. When Kiranji lost her father, at the time her mother was 64 years old. Normally people retire at the age of 64. She motivated her mother, being richest lady of the country, she could feed her mother well and keep her well. लेकिन उसने अपनी मदर को मोटिवेट किया, मम्मी तुम भी अपना कोई काम क्यों नहीं करती? So she motivated her and she established her own venture. And today, at the age of 88 years, her mother Yamini Majumdar is running her own independent business, altogether independent from her daughter's business, and employing almost more than 100 executives and employees in her venture. If Kiranji could inspire her mother at the age of 64 years to start a venture, why can't we, the teachers, can inspire our passing out graduates to conceive an idea maybe of a startup, and if it is not of a startup technology based, then it can be a conventional enterprise. But somewhere, I think what do we need? That we need to inspire our students for number one, to be self-employed, to provide employment for others, is into a job seeker and running from pillar to post for a job. Recently, Piyushji was also commenting that Indian graduates are not well employable. If time would permit, I'll be dealing with that issue also. But I think we have a big task to inspire our students to set up something of their own, and they can note good brands like Rahul Gupta. There are hundreds of such success stories. That is number one. Another important thing which I would like to bring into the notice of all the people that if anybody gets a job in a corporate sector, then he should think of promoting more and more products and brands. For example, even in softwares, India is called as software capital, but in software product exports, we have less than 1% share. Finacle है Oracle का जो banking के लिए, या there are very few products like today Zoom or Google Meet, or unless we launch our own products. So even in the field of software, and therefore why can't we develop a data analytics software like SPSS? I think if 4 of the engineering colleges like or NITs or 3-4 companies, they form a consortium, we can that can be done. So somewhere, whether it is in the field of softwares or defense, right from molecule development to therapy.
Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Sharma sir, you are requested to kindly unmute yourself. Thank you.
Are being rolled out by use of artificial intelligence, and various algorithmic products are being brought. For example, Illinois universities, and there are more than 200 universities which have been doing good work in launching products for crop yield prediction. When a farmer has sown corn, how much nutrients he has added, what had been the temperature and humidity throughout the season, and so how when his crop would ripen, and how much would be the yield. So in India also, companies have developed very good algorithmic products to predict cancer, lung cancer. They have just fed the data of millions of X-ray films into big data analysis, and now they have developed an algorithmic solution on the basis of which, simply from an X-ray film of lungs of any individual, it can be predicted who is likely to have lung cancer. So our small dispensaries to Apollo, every clinic would be requiring those softwares from China. Like Google has developed the retina scans on the basis of which they can find out how much blockage one can have at after how many months. Similarly, in defense, Israel has made a very good breakthrough. Just I would like to give that example also. Across the border, हम अपने बांग्लादेश border पे कांटेदार बाड़ लगा के भी घुसपैठ रोक नहीं पा रहे हैं. Sensors border पे कोई trespass करे तो उसको उसकी cognizance लेते हैं. Then that has been connected to photo recognition system. Those photo recognition systems would detect that who is an aligned person and who is their security personnel or who is an Israeli. Then that gives a signal to a robot called Guardian. That mechatronics-based robot can run at a velocity of 50 kilometers per hour in the desert, and it naps that trespasser if it is an aligned citizen. So everywhere we would be required. So I think our industry, our academia has to think of think of pedagogies. I think we are confined to only pedagogy.
I think there is some technical issues at the end of our chief guest. I think some technical issues are there, and Sir is joining us back soon. Thank you for your cooperation, everyone.
Yes, sorry, joining. I think some connection problem.
I think there are some technical issues, so sir will be joining us. By the time we would like to talk about we would like to invite our Dean, Dr. D.K. Sharma. So we all know great leaders do not desire to lead, but to serve. Dr. D.K. Sharma is the Dean of SRM IST Delhi NCR campus, Ghaziabad, is BE in Electrical Engineering from MNIT Allahabad, ME from IIT Roorkee, and PhD from NIT Kurukshetra. Sir has served PSU in different positions for about 9 years in quality assurance and testing and R&D department. Sir has authored several research articles in international journals and conference proceedings and has been the editor of international conference proceedings and books. Sir has participated in many international and national conferences as session chair and member in steering, advisory, and international program committees. His tenure in NCR campus has been truly enriching as the campus is progressing in terms of academics, research, social work, industry tie-ups, internships, and perception. Now, may I request Dr. D.K. Sharma, Dean SRM IST Delhi NCR campus, to talk about the expectations from this AICT Atal sponsored 5 days FDP on lean thinking for sustainable business practices. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ajal Mishra. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Good morning to one and all. Chief guest, Professor BP Sharma ji, Vice Chancellor, Gautam Buddha University, Greater Noida. Guest of honor, Dr. Piyush Swami ji, Professor Emeritus, University of Cincinnati, USA. Keynote speakers present here. Dr. Vishwanathan ji, who is not here, who is Deputy Registrar of SRM IST NCR campus. Dr. N.M. Mishra ji, Professor and Dean, Department of Management Studies, and Coordinator of this FDP. Dear heads, faculty members, and participants, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome our chief guest, Professor BP Sharma ji, and guest of honor, Professor Piyush Swami ji, in this Atal FDP on lean thinking for sustainable business practices. I am thankful to our chief guest and guest of honor for sparing time out of the busy schedule and being with us today for this noble cause. Thank you very much, sir. For any institution, the most important resource is the faculty members who teach knowledge and skill to the students. In order to deal with rapid changes and shifting paradigms in science management and technology, such type of faculty development program play a vital role in updating the knowledge and skills of faculty members. Without such program, teaching is often reduced to instructors presenting their understanding of the subject by only one-way teaching. This FDP will cover a wide range of activities that the institute is organizing to train the faculty members. The program is designed in such a way to improve the performance of the faculty members in education, research, and administration. In this 5 days FDP, 14 sessions, as detailed by Professor N.N. Mishra ji, will be there, in which the expert in different domains from different part of the country will deliver their talk and will discuss the research possibility. I hope that participants will learn a lot, will update their knowledge and skills during these 5 days, and will transform this knowledge and skills to the students, and will conduct similar kind of FDPs at their parent institutions. I congratulate Professor N.M. Mishra ji for taking such a good initiative for this noble cause of teachers training. Once again, my sincere thanks to our chief guest and guest of honor for their presence in this inaugural ceremony. With these words, thank you very much. Now over to Dr. Achal Mishra.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, for enlightening the delegates about this FDP. Thank you so much. And still we are waiting. We have received a confirmation from our chief guest that he'll be joining us soon. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, our delegates and dignitaries. Thank you, our faculty members and research scholars. Once the chief guest will join us back, we would like to end with the inaugural session. Sir has joined us. Sir. Dr. Bhagwati Prakash Sharma. Sir has joined us. Sir, kindly unmute yourself. Yes, sir. So we would like
I
to
have
hear.
unmuted myself and now I'll conclude. So we were talking that how our educational institutions and particularly business schools should focus on new teaching learning approaches falling in the category of pedagogy. Besides pedagogies, we have to focus on andragogies which facilitate adult learning. Then we also have to employ pedagogical approaches where peer-to-peer learning is also very popular these days. And besides this, what do I feel is that pedagogical approaches which facilitate self-directed learning. And most important is the transformational pedagogies. Even in lean thinking also we talk of transformational approach. And these transformational pedagogies help to transform the value system of the students also. And particularly these days, we are worried that our educational teaching or our teaching is not succeeding in ingraining ethics and values in the conduct and behavior of the students. And therefore, I do feel that we should focus on transformational pedagogies also. Besides, we also have to enhance critical thinking in the among the students. For that, we have to employ problem-based learning approaches, or we have to facilitate problem-based learning. We have to facilitate project-based learning. So I think this is the time when problem-based teaching approach. Every faculty member should have at least 1,000 to 2,000 problem statements. Say, for example, if somebody is teaching marketing, that then right from product design, product development, sales promotion, every aspect one should have several statements for teaching. Group have to use ever newer pedagogical interventions. Even for example, I think group discussion has become redundant vis-a-vis fish bowl approach. In the fish bowl approach, we have two circles, and one inner circle, which is called the fish, they that's in discussion. The outer circle, which is called the simply listen what the front rank is saying. Front circle, the inner circle is constitute the bowl. They come in the inner circle, and those constituting the fish, they come in the outer circle. And then taking cognizance of lacunae, each of the member has observed about the discussion of the inner circle, they can overcome. So these days, I would like to advise all the faculty members to use these ever newer teaching learning approaches. So I think business practices, we earlier used to talk of lean season marketing and all those things. So from lean thinking, I think in teaching, we should analyze the whole, and we should use those approaches. That is what I would like to. I have already taken too much time, so I would like to conclude here with my best compliments for all the delegates, that they go with a lot of teaching learning approaches, and they get equipped with all the desirable tools or strategies required in teaching. So once again, I convey thanks to the organizers, and I think I also feel that too many interruptions have come, but you had very good patience. So I convey my best compliments to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for delivering such a beautiful speech and talking about your words of wisdom. Indeed, we are very grateful to you for joining us back. We all understand during this pandemic, some technical issues might be there, but we all have to adopt this new learning. Thank you for your cooperation and thank you, sir. Thank you once again. And I would like to pay our gratitude to Dr. D.K. Sharma, Dean of SRM IST Delhi NCR Campus, Ghaziabad. Sir has also talked about the expectations from this AICT Atal sponsored 5 days FDP on lean thinking for sustainable business practices. Sir is BE from MNIT Allahabad, mechanical engineer from IIT Roorkee, PhD from NIT Kurukshetra. Sir has authored several research articles in international and national journals of repute. Sir is the editor of international conference proceedings and books. Sir has participated in many international and national conferences and has chaired as a session chair. So his tenure at NCR campus is helping us in progressing in terms of academics, research, social work, and whatnot. So thank you so much, Dean Dr. D.K. Sharma, sir, for your kind words. Here, I would like to brief about the today's schedule because we are going to end with this inaugural session. So for this, our first session will begin at, we would like to take a break for 5 minutes. So 11:55, we all are requested to kindly join us back for session 1, which will be delivered on Introduction to Lean Thinking. 11:55 to 12:40 would be the first session. Session 2 will begin at 12:40 till 1:40. Then there will be a break for lunch break. Session 3 will begin at 2:10 till 3:40 on understanding lean philosophy. The eminent resource person for the session 1 of this FDP, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal. Brigadier Agarwal, Sena Medal and Bar, has been the security advisor at the Ministry of Home Affairs, Government of India, advisor, National Highway Authority of India, NHAI, advisor to the Government of Seychelles and President of the Service Selection Board in the Government of India. Sir has been awarded with the prestigious gallantry by then President of India. He has been invited to Turkey to speak at the annual flagship conference of NATO and has been invited to analyze issues by numerous TV channels like Aaj Tak, Republic English, Republic Bharat, Hindi, NDTV, CNN, News 18, CNBC, Vine, India TV, TVN, News 24, to name a few. Sir is a coach and a trainer and conducts webinars and workshops on soft skills, motivation and personality development, English as a second language to Indians and foreigners, and a faculty for management subjects and strategic planning. He is a motivational speaker. Sir is a regular trainer for bank officer training institutions, Stratford University, IMT Ghaziabad, Taj Group of Hotels, MIT University, ICAI, master trainer for soft skills, Time, GRE, IMA, and the list is endless. Sir is a founder member of the Society for Cultural and Environment, a diverse personality with a rich work and experience. So here we would like to take a break for 5 minutes and I would like to request our session speaker, Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal sir, all the dignitaries and delegates to kindly join us at 11:55. So thank you so much. The meeting will be continued. You all are requested to kindly join us. We would like to take a break for 5 minutes now. Thank you so much. So welcome back the delegates. And I would like to request Brigadier Sanjay Agarwal, sir, to kindly begin the session. Over to you, sir. And the rights have been assigned to you to share the slides.
Yes, I just realized that 1 second ago. So here it is. And let me start thereafter. Give me 5 seconds. Okay. That is why I was requesting them early so that these last minute fine tunings, which always land up in spoiling the initial part. Anyway, here we go. Okay, so you can see me? Yes, no,
Yes, sir,
please?
you are audible and you are visible, sir. And the screen is also visible there. The slide is visible on the screen, sir.
And the slide is visible on the full screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So meeting controls have gone where? You are screen sharing. So you can see only my PPT or you can see the rest of my full screen also?
No, sir. Sir, only the PPT screen is visible.
Okay, great. So we are good to go. So it gives me great pleasure. It's an honor. Thank you, management of SRM IST, NCR, and Dr. N.M. Mishra, and the erudite educationists of the SRM family. And it was illuminating to hear our guest of honor and Dr. Piyush Swami sir.
Last 1 hour.
Sorry?
1 घंटा बचा है.
And the guest and the chief guest, Dr. Bhagwati Prasad sir. And now I will try and still break off as per schedule time. We are now at noon, 2 minutes past noon. So with that as a start point, let me cut out the frills and go straight into what I propose to do next. The first two, there are 3 sessions today. The first and third are linked. Introduction to Lean Philosophy